See that in the bottom there? That's the real thing, man. Alright, welcome back to the final match of the qualifier section for Kharak Cup number 4. It's going to be me against Masque the Red Death, and this is actually an important match. Masque the Red Death has not won a map yet, and if she were to win this one, I believe it would be Begil who would be taken out of the elimination section, because he also has only lost one. Oh no, he's lost 2 now, hasn't he? Right, no, he's only won 1, that was what I meant to say. Is that the case? I'm thinking that's the case, that he's only won 1 round so far. And so, if Masque the Red Death could win this, then she would be, she would have beaten me, which would mean that she has a higher score in the qualifier section, and she would move on instead of Begil. So this is actually an important match for her. For me, not so much. I mean, I've already gotten in, I'm pretty sure. I've gotten 2 wins. So, yeah, Masque the Red Death is going to be caring a bit more about this one than me, I suppose. The map is going to be the Shallows. It's actually a good map for Coalition. It's very difficult to attack this like early game eco right here. It's also a lot smaller, so it's not really like smaller per se, but you know, you have to go through one of 3 choke points to really like progress through the map, kind of. And so the Coalition have a pretty good time holding things off, so I think she would be happy playing on this map in particular, but it's still going to be a hard ask. But yeah, that's kind of the context. I'm told the replay is better if I give context, you see. So, oh hello, Discar. I don't know if that shows up on the video, but he's playing DOK right now. Right. Well, you can see I'm going for a bit more of an economical opener right here. I have thrown the scanner down, so I've seen this base runner coming up. I'm not going to be surprised by that at all. I might be producing sandstorms already to try to deal with this, but I have gone for more of an economic opener right here. I'm probably just going to go straight to refinery mode. Masque the Red Death going for some early game AAVs. Pretty standard play right there. Wants to go for some early game aggression. I could do a quick drop to get to refinery mode faster, but I can't be bothered with such things. This is why I'm always in the finals of these tournaments, right? Anyway. Base runner is beginning to nibble. No. Sandstormer is beginning to nibble on this base runner right here. Contemplated turning back, but no, it's going for it. Because right now, if I put down a turret, these 2 sandskimmers would be hosed, basically. Like, there's no way that I can kill a turret with only 3 sandskimmers, but the longer it waits, the less likely that becomes. Aha, but here comes a stream of LAVs down here to support. So this could actually be the beginnings of a pretty strong, like, hold in the middle. Has the record to use. Turret is getting put down immediately. That's actually very well timed, I noticed. They're going to shoot, it is. It's going to pick off 1 sandskimmer. And it's going to get a second, actually, so not bad right there. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good opener. I think Masque the Red Death should be very happy with this, because I've gone for refinery mode, and you see I can't really use it very much. I can move my carrier out, because I have refinery mode already, but if AAVs hit the field right about now, I might be in danger. You see they're going to be a bit later, because only now are they being produced, but this could still be the beginnings of some good early game aggression, so I think that's going well. This is definitely not a good move from the base runner. It'd be better if he would move back this way, I guess. Although then he could get shot by the turrets, so it's going to be a little tricky for the base runner either way. You can see these sandskimmers getting up here on the hill to support the base runner, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to shoot, really. Based on this terrain here, you know. Oh, that's not so steep. I'm sure those sandskimmers could go down if they wanted to. Yeah, and they're going to get chased back. Base runner getting shot out. Yeah, this opening really looks pretty good for Masque the Red Death. It'd be especially good if she would now expand by making a support cruiser. Because of course, attacking doesn't do you too much unless you expand off the back of the attack. I'm on 2 bases right now, she should be as well. But no sign of that just yet, actually, which is a bit worrisome. These AVs are a bit slower than I thought they were going to be. The Shallows is kind of a small map, but it still has a long rush distance because it's kind of like, it's a rectangle, you know? Rectangles, man. Geometry. Base runner is going to go down despite its best efforts to heal itself, which actually only ended up healing the opponent, so that was pretty silly. But actually, this number of LAVs is quite spiky. I could run into some trouble if they just barrel right in, and it looks like they're going to try that. The carrier's doing good work, though. Still trading 1 for 1 with these sand skimmers, and actually that is over now. Yeah, it looks like the LAVs are going to be held off. But I have gotten into the back line there. But these assault railguns should clean them up, I would think. Assault railguns are funny things. They have less health than sand skimmers. It's crazy, isn't it? A lot more armor, though. Anyway, AAVs are already hitting the field, but with assault railguns out on the field, it's not going to be too hard to hold these off. I'm going on to a third base. Masquerade is still only on one. That's a really bad sign. I mean, like I was saying, you know, you got to expand while you attack, right? Because otherwise, you're gonna fall behind. I gotta say, being such an attacking player, I'm not so good at defending. I mean, you can see I was a little flustered at some points there. Lost the base runner kind of for nothing. I mean, I can do a better job defending these kinds of things because I'm always the one attacking, you know. So I'm not thinking of like how to defend really. It's kind of funny that way. You can see me producing another base runner here, make up that which was lost. As I do still want to be going for artifacts. Masquerade Death, meanwhile, has already scored one artifact, which is good. That's an element of expanding while you're attacking, I'll admit that. The space runner is about half health, though, so it's going to be pretty easy to kind of chip it down here. So railguns being on the high ground like this is going to be almost impossible for LAVs to push on them. Although they do have the boost, which is good, and I don't have the dart maneuver at all. Perhaps I should have invested in that. But even so, you can see with these 3 armor upgrades, no damage upgrades on the LAVs, and I do have 3 armor, by the way. These things they just can't kill them. It takes a long time for these LAVs to kill assault railguns that way. Assault railguns, by the way, in case you're wondering, very good counter against LAVs in the early game. Late game, their vulnerability to railguns makes them a bit less viable, but then again, same thing with like armored assault. No, that was assault chips, right? Actually, you can see me backing away here, but I'm not really taking any damage. I guess I don't really need to, do I? You can see just how little damage is done by these LAVs. Have they gotten any damage upgrades yet? No, still not yet. Anyway, that push was going to allow that artifact to extract, and it did. So it's worth something, but, you know, being 1 base against 3, I think is just, it's not good. And at this point, I feel like I knew kind of that things were going my way, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this game without using any heavy railguns. I'm doing it. That was like my challenge to myself. So, I decided at about this point, I think. Good damage done to this base runner, which is gonna make me a little bit upset. It's gonna heal up, of course, but very, very, very slowly. Base runners take forever to heal themselves. They're much more powerful against like the allied units around them, like this carrier, which was nice. You can see me powering up the carrier, going for assault chips. That's probably for a transition into air. But still lots of assault railguns getting produced here. The tech for Masquerade Death is railgun fabrication. That is a good choice, because one of the good counters to assault railguns is normal railguns. That's why for Galzian players, whenever you're in like an assault railgun war, just throwing in 1 or 2 heavy rails makes a huge difference in that mix. Because, you know, they're not in danger at all. They will never really be attacked. These LAVs still with no damage upgrades, really just getting pwned here. But it's going to be hard to push into like the base proper, of course, because of this carrier. That's why this is such a defensive map. With heavy railguns, I could do it, but I'm not doing that. No heavy railguns. So it'd be a little tricky. Yep, interceptor fabrication is coming down the pipe. I see railguns and I back away because I know that I can't take that fight. And my unsupported sand skimmers are never going to be able to get in there, so they're going to back away as well. About 3 more coming out just now. It's going to be 10 assault railguns, which is quite a hefty number. But even just these 2 railguns is going to hold me back. It's quite interesting that way. Right, well, Masquerade is on 2 bases now, so that's good. But still falling behind in that aspect. I've been on 3 base economy for so long now. Like, let's look at the resources. And you can see I have more resources. You can see I have more units by quite a lot. If you can read this, it actually takes a bit of time, but whatever. So things are looking good for me, and I'm making another production cruiser. You can only surmise that's going to be for this base right here. So 4 on 2. If you know anything about numbers, 4 is more than 2. Anyway, the assault railguns are kind of getting into the middle here, into like the sniper position, if you will, like just pop out there and kill someone, pop back type of thing, you know. This cover here is very good for like holding against railguns. So I'm gonna try to utilize it to hold against my opponent's railguns since I am committed to making none of my own. This probe here doing a very good job of seeing everything. There's nothing here to shoot it down until it gets near the space runner. So I'm not really sure why I did this, but whatever. I mean, I'm sure you can see there's no reason to have two scanners this close to each other, but you know, it doesn't matter. I do love me them scanners. Okay, production cruiser's finished on top of that probe, so it shoots it down. It looks like my carrier exploded there. Anyway, these LAVs are coming in for a bit of a push, but with these assault railguns nearby, that's probably not recommended. Now it's siege cruiser fabrication for me. Yeah, there's a carrier, there's assault railguns. I mean, there's no way these LAVs can push further in, but if they stay back here, they'll be fine. Moving up here to the top toward her extraction zone. I got the UI bug going on. Are these targeting the salvager, or else why are they? Yeah, they're targeting the salvager. Yeah, it's really important that you get your railguns to target the carrier. Now, although, hey, look at that, they killed him. Just normally railguns have horrible accuracy against like salvagers, but they auto-target them. It's so dumb. I think they're actually gonna fix that in the patch, or at least they're getting close to being able to. But yeah, you know, it's always important to make sure that you're targeting the right unit with those railguns. Actually, this is quite a healthy force of railguns right here, I gotta say. So that coalition production is very good, obviously. So would mine be if I was gonna make such units, but no, I'm not gonna stoop to that level. I've got to do it with only assault railguns. Let's see here. This base runner I'm gonna try to extract. I'm gonna try to stop it with these sand skimmers. I haven't been able to stop any previous extractions, so that's been a little bit frustrating for me. Whew. This probe's gonna come out and see something it doesn't want to see. Yes, lots of sand skimmers right here. Probe meanwhile is gonna fly over the production cruiser. That gives her the information to know, okay, he is on another base right here. Artifact goes down right there. The railguns are in full retreat, and here come the assault railguns. The assassins, they've been lying in wait right here. The railguns are going to target them, so they're going to take heavy losses, but they'll be up on top of this force before you know it. And assault railguns do very well when they're on top of heavy railguns. And those are all going to go down. Good show, my good sirs, good show. I think the real problem for Masque of the Red Death here was just that, first off, the LAVs didn't have any damage upgrades, although I don't think that really matters in this case, but it would have been helpful earlier to kind of thin down these numbers, but yeah, I think the real problem was just that, you know, there was no LAV sand skimmer coverage, right? Nothing to cover those. And so they were able to run in and just kind of take out all of those railguns there. So there's more railguns coming out from Masque of the Red Death. I'm going to target those down, of course, because they can actually do damage to me. Carrier is doing a good job, slowly picking down units, but there's a lot of eco damage being done here. I'm going to go for the base runner now because I don't want any turrets set up. But not actually kill it, looks like. Yeah, okay, so I'm going back in there to kill it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, the carrier comes flying in here with almost full power into speed, and then there's a barrage come down immediately. This is mostly for show. I mean, this unit here is definitely going to get killed now, but it looks cool, doesn't it? Like, this fight is going on, and then suddenly, shoo, here I am. It's at this point that I realize I haven't killed that base runner, so that gets me a little bit upset. And I should really just kill this thing. Oh my gosh, this base runner's still alive. Has me angry, man. But anyway, yeah, the carrier proving to be much more effective than all those railguns were. There goes the base runner. So it takes out all of the economy, all of the army as well. It's going to fall pretty shortly. There's another siege cruiser being finished, another one on its way. Artifacts being scored right here. So this is definitely game over. But it should be remembered it was not so easy to get in here as it could have been. All those railguns had to be dealt with first. Oh, and even a Gaussian missile barrage just to add some more tilt factor to the whole thing. Support Cruiser comes out and just instantly gets taken to pieces, and that's going to be the GG for Masque Red Death. She knows there's no coming back from this position. Oh, I do love how cool all this looks. But yeah, that is going to be game. So Masque Red Death going to be eliminated, unfortunately, from the tournament. But we'll move on now to the semifinals, the round of 4. Yeah.